Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Now we're sued by whoever owns the Welcome Back Cotter theme song.
I don't know.
Anyways, welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of Chirping from the Pine. My name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Yes, I need you to hit the... You must have thought it was White Boy Day.
Oh, fuck, hold on.
Damn, no audio. And we still have the theme song going. Oh, shit.
You must have thought it was White Boy Day.
You must have thought it was White Boy Day.
I think I thought it was White Boy Day today.
Fucking bullshit!
Fuck the Hulk. Fuck the Tom Brady.
PG, brother.
PG, brother.
Hey, I'll say this, man. I like talking about Tom Brady, but I also like talking about how he sucks ass.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I love Tom Brady. He was a great dude, all right? When he comes to playing football.
Yes.
Sort of like a Rain Man of being a quarterback.
Yes, and unfortunately, that does not portray well as a color commentator for football.
None whatsoever. It does not. And we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about we're going to talk about amateur baseball in the 90s a little bit. I'm going to tell some stories about shit from back in the days and some realizations that I had this past week. And it's a little depressing, but whatever. That'll be your main events after we talk about Tom Brady and the NFL bullshit going on. Because I also want to talk about how I do think that the NFL is fucking rigged.
Oh, dude.
100%. And so, anyways, before we get to that, Game Rage Magazine, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Go to Game Rage Mag on Twitter if you like that one. You can also follow along Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and YouTube. You can also find him on Substack, substack.com/at All Gas No Trash Official. And I'll say this, Adam was doing Substack before it was cool, okay? Just keep that in mind, all right? All these little fuckboys on TikTok. Oh my God, the TikTok is being banned. Please follow me on Substack so I can maybe make some money. No, Adam was doing that before it was cool, all right? So there you go. OG. Anyways, all right. Start off with Tom Brady again. Tom Brady, terrible at commentary.
Ugh.
It's
NFC Championship, dude. Washington Redskins versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm thinking, dude, what happened, man? I understand to some degree that on the field acuity for football can't really translate to. It's not 1-to-1, right?
No, it's not.
There's a difference between commentating and there's a difference between playing football, knowing the game to a T. It doesn't translate so immediately.
Yeah. You know who's a good example of that too?
What?
On the coaching side is Bill Belichick.
Oh, dude, that dude is fucking dry as fuck.
He has the personality of a fucking 2x4. Right? Like,
yeah, he does.
Like, it is so dry.
Yeah.
And like when he tells a joke, he's like,
and he grunts, dude.
I think it's funny, but it's terrible.
And then you have the comedic element from Marshawn Lynch saying, I just don't want to get fined.
Yeah. And I think you can either be great at football or you can be great at commentary. It can't be both. Okay, if you look at like Peyton Manning, right? Peyton Manning does commentary pretty well, but he also like only won 2 Super Bowls or whatever, right?
That also applies for Eli.
Eli, same thing too. Only won 2 fucking Super Bowls, but he's pretty good at commentary. Tom Brady won 7 and he can't talk for shit. Tony Romo didn't win any fucking Super Bowls. And he fucking commentates like his ass off, man.
Oracle, dude.
He is a fucking top tier level commentator.
Yeah, and he's called out schemes and they're like, oh, this player can do that. Boom, fucking 40-yard touchdown because he knew the layout of the defensive scheme.
Yeah, and excellent commentary. Excellent commentator. Also, they did kind of fuck up at the end of the Chiefs and Bills game because the refs had the flags ready to go in case they made that reception to take it to first down. Because it was 29-20 fucking 7 or whatever, or 29-26 or something like that. And it was fucking it was 3rd and like 8. And what's his name? Josh Allen goes back to throw. And and I will say, he made a hell of a throw for getting that. I can't believe that fucking offensive line let that shit happen. That is weak as shit. But he still got the throw off and got it. Like, the dude should have caught that. And so they immediately they said flag on the play. And then the flag thing came up on the TV as a flag. And then everybody goes like, wait a minute. And he's like, no, I don't think there was a flag. And then the one dude was like, no, I swear to God, I saw him throw a flag. And then somebody must have yelled at him in his headset, like, hey, shut the fuck up about that flag. And then all of a sudden it disappeared, and they were like, the referees didn't even acknowledge it coming out and saying there was no flag on the play. The announcers just were like, no. So I think the refs were fucking already ready to throw a flag if they would have made that reception, therefore either repeating the down or having to do something where they were not likely to get it because they needed that because once that happened, it was fourth and 8. And once that happened, it was it turnover on downs. And the Chiefs won the game because they had 3 timeouts left, and it was like a minute and a half or whatever left, and they just fucking ran out the clock.
I thought.
So that was my opinion. I think that was fucking totally rigged. And
I thought if the Bills had a chance, if they maintained the score within a touchdown and they were the last team to drive, that they had a chance to win. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly how it played out.
Yep.
But of course, didn't work out that way. Josh Allen is now he just got sunned by fucking Patrick Mahomes for the 4th fucking time. Therefore, this is never going to happen.
No.
Buffalo Bills will always be the bridesmaid in the AFC. And
no. I don't think they will always be the bridesmaid because my opinion, what's going to happen now is Patrick Mahomes, they're gonna fucking win. They're gonna get the 3-peat, right?
For history.
They talked about this fucking 2 years ago before they played the last Super Bowl. And they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a 3-peat. And it's like, oh, you guys gave away the fucking script. So they know this is gonna happen. And as long as Travis Kelce is dating fucking Taylor Swift, the Chiefs will be Super Bowl champions every time. I have a feeling, I don't know if it'll be after this Super Bowl, but when that happens and they split up, the Chiefs are going to fall off the fucking planet. They're going to fall off the map. And what's crazy is they've won 16 games in a row now.
16 games in a row?
Well,
Shit.
No, not 16 games. Well, 16 games in a row that have been by 1 possession leads.
How many did the New England Patriots win?
So the Patriots used to blow motherfuckers out. This is like, actually, I think it's more. I think this last game was like, I think the 17th or 18th game that they won not in a row, but like, because they lost 1 or 2 games during the regular season, I think. But it's of their victories, this was the 17th victory in a row that they've had that has been by 1 possession. And it's like, they that's now the record. And the Patriots used to blow motherfuckers out every game. That season that they went fucking undefeated and ended up losing the Super Bowl, they were beating teams like by fucking 3-4 fucking touchdowns. And that's one of the things that I was like, I kind of do think that the referees that this is being rigged in that favor because the Chiefs, I don't think, are that good of a team, and Andy Reid is not that fucking good of a coach.
He's also been bridesmaid numerous times to Bill Belichick.
Right, exactly. And so I think that the reason the rigging is happening, and it's like, because the Chiefs aren't that good, so it's like, oh, it only comes down to that 1 possession. And honestly, even if it's not rigged, yeah, sure, you're still beating people, and you can say what you want, but no one will ever be as dominant as the Patriots were during that fucking 20-year run in terms of beating people's asses. Because, yeah, so what? You're winning by 1 possession, but they were beating people's asses for fucking decades. And that just was what it was. Now, granted, when you get to the playoffs, it's a little different. Yeah, they'd win by fucking a field goal or whatever sometimes. But during the regular season, man, they used to beat the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
And they would not let up. Even in the fucking the conference championship games and even in the playoffs, they would just, if they fucking stepped on your neck, they would just keep going. And yeah, they'd run up. I remember one time they played the fucking Bills in one of the fucking, like, the AFC championship or whatever. And they fucking beat them like 60 to like 25 or something like that. They whooped their fucking ass. And it was just like, yeah, go fuck yourselves. Like, the Chiefs ain't doing that to anybody. And I just think that's kind of indicative to me of there's kind of something else going on here. Like, it ain't it's not all luck, but it's like a little, like you can't be that lucky. Like no one can be that lucky to just win by one possession
or a field goal
every fucking game of the season and every fucking game. It's like it's a little, I don't know, it's a little fishy if you ask me. So
I wasn't done with Tom Brady.
Yeah, go ahead, go back to Tom Brady. Cause fuck that guy.
The only thing I really had to say was that, man, dude, you know what he really thrives in is talking shit about the game. When he says the level play is so mediocre, or all the bullshit that he says about how the game was better when he was involved.
Yeah.
And he probably has numerous points because he is a kind of a point of authority for football and stuff like that. I think when he comes across from that form, as if there was something to carry into commentary, dude, go full fucking heel as color commentator, man. Talk about how this motherfucking asshole at quarterback can't do this or that. This is where his shortcomings are. Being critical of the game, dude. That, because there's enough people that do praise. There's enough people that do praise. We could use somebody that just dogs on the fucking game, dude. Yeah,
we need a Jerry the King Lawler like type character in there, and Tom Brady could fill that role. He did kind of start that when he was talking shit about Mahomes, and he was saying in like an interview, if he would have carried that on in the commentary, that would have been cool. But he said in an interview, because they were asking him about like all these roughing the passer and all these fucking things that Mahomes, all these calls he keeps getting, and he's like, yeah, man, he's like, I never fucking got those calls. He's like, they used to beat my ass. And he's like, you just got to fucking take it, or you got to figure out how to not get hit. And he's like, if you're running at a dude, what are you supposed to expect them to stop and like lightly, gently touch you? And he basically called Patrick Mahomes a giant pussy. And it was fucking hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, good. He is a giant pussy. Fucking call it out what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, he was notorious for being a fucking prick on the sideline. He was like the equivalent of Kobe Bryant when he was active for the Lakers.
Yeah.
That he would just scrutinize dudes for being bitches and that they weren't putting in the work ethic that he was to be champ. And a testament to his work ethic, dude. The dude is 7 times world champion.
Yeah. And no one else is ever going to fucking touch that.
I don't know. I mean,
I think these 3 that Mahomes are going to get, I think that's it. I think
they're going to give him the whole enchilada, dude. I think he's going to be number 8.
I don't think
I think he's going to get it. Yeah.
There's no fucking way he's going to get it. I doubt. There's no way. He's not good enough. He's not that good.
Dude, he's 7 years in, I think, or 6 years in, and he's already had 3 Super Bowls, including one. See, this is where I think the argument for GOAT quarterback is always going to go back to if he does go to 8. And I hate admitting this, but Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship, I think before. Wait, was it the AFC Championship or just? I mean, he beat him in the Super Bowl, but I think he actually beat him in the AFC Championship before he jumped ship over to Tampa Bay, and then he beat his ass again.
Yeah.
So there's no dispute, there's no argument to be made about who is the GOAT quarterback of all time. It's Tom Brady. Whether it doesn't matter if it's fucking 9 rings for Patrick Mahomes. The fact is, if Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT quarterback, or is disputed as one of the GOAT quarterbacks, you fucking kick the door down and say, well, Tom Brady's 2-0 against them
and
in the AFC Championship
and in the Super Bowl.
So there it is.
So yeah, I agree. There's no Kobe and Jordan argument that can be made here, because Kobe and Jordan
never faced each other.
So you can have that argument all you want. It's theoretical. There's evidence here. They face each other, and you weren't up to snuff, bud. Like, that's just what's up. Yeah. And you can't fucking blame them. And also, I feel like the level of competition back during that time was a lot better than it is now.
Oh, I mean, it was nasty, dude. I mean, Ray Lewis took your fucking head off.
Oh yeah,
from the Baltimore Ravens.
JJ Watt fucking murdering people. The defensive side of the game was fucking way more brutal than it is now. And
I'm sure there was, I don't know what decade this was, but I know there was like things there was like headhunting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was happening all in the early 2000s too. All that was like in the 80s, 90s, and like early 2000s, I feel like. And yeah, they were getting crazy. And Yeah, I just think that argument doesn't exist here in the NFL. The GOAT is Tom Brady. It's undisputed at this point. Even if Mahomes gets 8, you still weren't as good as Brady.
Yeah.
So.
And then shit.
I mean, but by that same token, Eli Manning can say he's better than fucking Tom Brady because he beat him 2 times.
No, because he doesn't have the numbers.
He doesn't have the numbers, but he still beat him twice.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the numbers. So
yeah.
That's funny.
So I think also part of the problem is that Tom Brady's also lived this very curated persona, very diplomatic answers when it comes to the media and shit.
Yeah.
So maybe he kind of damaged himself, and that's kind of tripped over into him doing commentating where he doesn't give any form of like true analysis of the sport because he's going back to old sayings like, oh, you got to win a football game yard by yard or some bullshit like that, dude. And that doesn't really cut it. That's why I think Greg Olson just cuts fucking loose and is able to discuss the finer details of football, because I don't think he thinks about what he should say. He just fucking does it. Or Tony Romo, he just does it.
Yeah, just says it.
And I think maybe for Tom Brady, he thinks too much about how can I parse this down to the fucking normies. Like, we understand football is a pretty basic game. I mean, the nuance is going to come from him, but I don't think he knows which parts are the most relevant or the most important. So he just She ends up being like Donnie Yabbity Goobity Gad from Wild Thornberrys, dude. Man, I get world championships 9 days a week.
9 days a week, man. Dude, he should just go full Scott Steiner. That would be fucking hilarious.
He starts
losing his mind.
Yeah.
He starts fucking being crazy.
Yeah.
Starts talking about bitches and to all my freaks in Tampa Bay. That'd be hilarious.
What else did you have for this episode?
So I wanted to go back to talking about, I mean, we kind of highlighted it in a vast previous episode about, playing baseball back in the day.
Okay.
But I once again had this realization about, maybe this is a new revelation, but so I was going to fucking get donuts for Chloe the other day. And I'm outside the donut store and I go in and I fucking get my shit. And then when I come out, this dude asked me for fucking change or whatever. And I didn't have any fucking cash. So I'm like, normally I'll flip the dudes like $1 or $2, like, whatever, try to help them out so they can get their crack or whatever. I mean, listen, it's bad enough that they're fucking homeless. I mean, Christ, if that's what you want to do, man, live your life, man. Like, be you. I don't give a fuck. I'll give you a couple dollars to help you out. I'm not an asshole. But I told him I don't got any dollars. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Like, I don't got any cash. So, and then I realized I'm like, man, like, I didn't recognize the voice because the voice sounded like fucking, I thought it was a woman, first of all, to be honest. Like, I thought it was a lady. And then when I looked, I was like, oh, that's whatever. That's some dude. And then I was like, wait a minute. I think I fucking know this guy. And then I get in the car and I'm sitting there for a minute. I'm staring and I'm watching him pick his fucking face. And I'm like, God damn it. I do know this fucking guy. And it's a dude that's like was younger than me, but like we played baseball together. And I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I started thinking about it. And I really do truly, the numbers are skewed. And
the numbers don't lie.
They don't lie. Because the numbers are that of guys that I played with personally or like had some sort of interaction with, there's more dudes in that time period that played like what was called travel baseball back in the late 90s. I don't know. I'm sure it still exists today, but I think it's in a different format now. But the travel baseball we used to play back in the late 90s to the early 2000s, there's more guys that were in that class of dudes that died from drug overdoses or became drug addicts than made it to play professional baseball. And what's crazy is that was the whole point of all that shit, was to propel this like group up into playing professional baseball by playing the best of the best. Because I'll tell you right now, there was nowhere else in the country that was like, people would come here from out of state and around like to come play baseball because they wanted to get into what was the most competitive and best, I don't know, like scene or whatever you want to call it for baseball back during that time. Now, granted, remember, this is like fucking 30 years ago going on now. So like, I don't know what it's like now. I'm only speaking about my experience from 30 years ago or however, goddamn, it was like fucking almost 30 years ago. But that time period was crazy in that I understand and see what, because there was only two options. There was either you just fucking like develop a really thick ass fucking skin, or you just fell into some sort of addiction. Like that's what happened. And or I mean, I guess there was a third option where like you kind of just became a bitch, because there's some dudes that I know that like they kind of just became a bitch, and it was because like they developed a lot of anxieties and a lot of weird shit, and that's what that environment bred, was pushing people to the limit. And man, like I think about it, man, and it was so fucked up because our parents paid like fucking a bunch of money to do this shit, right? Like you paid to play on these fucking teams, but it was like you were treated like you were on like a major league team, and you were like signed with a travel team. You paid, you signed like a little fucking contract, and we all had to pitch in to pay for like to go to tournaments and play at tournaments and shit and do all that stuff. And you know, you had to go to practices. We had to all split like the fucking pay for, you know, to rent the fields and like do all that bullshit. And so, you know, there were tryouts. Like travel teams had tryouts and shit. Like I remember I had to go fucking try out. And what's crazy is there's some guys I know, I'd love to fucking talk to them and just get their perspective on it, because I don't know the perspective on it. Because like there were dudes that fucking bench sat. Like there were dudes that I know that rarely played, and they were paying the same amount to be there as like I was paying. And so I just want to know, like, at what point do you just say, man, what the fuck, dude? Because like I know that people were just like, okay, if my son is on this team and they're just in the vicinity of this, they're likely going to get on the team in high school or whatever. Because like you kind of had to do that like back then. You built up like a resume, and you've got this resume of, okay, these are all the teams I've played on. And like, I mean, listen, that's what got me in high school. Was I had this resume, and it was like, cool, you got all these teams you've played for and these travel teams, and you've got all these like accolades and shit for playing on these teams, and these teams have reputations, and like, okay, cool, like we'll be cool with that. We'll take you on. And that's kind of how it was. And it's like people stayed on and like were like, oh, okay, my kid will get into high school. And so there were guys that like, yeah, never, like rarely played, but they'd go to some like smaller ass high school and be like, oh, just because they were on the team and affiliated, like that got you in the door. And it's like, okay, cool. But it's like, I just like to hear their perspective on that, on what that was like for them. Because for me, I was unfortunate in the sense that like, I mean, or maybe I was fortunate, I don't know. Like when I went on travel ball, I had to learn how to play a completely different fucking position because, of course, as was my luck most of the time, the coach's kid was always fucking a catcher or whatever. So I always kind of got fucked, and like I didn't want to bench sit. So for me, I could hit. And so to say what you want, my dad's crazy and whatnot, but he always had this fucking saying of like, if you can, and he was so hard on me for fucking hitting. He didn't really give two shits about the catching. That was just like an ends to a means, I guess. Him and my uncle fucking harped the fuck out of me on hitting. I remember going to my uncle's house in fucking Norco, and he set up this whole batting cage. He had this whole fucking batting cage in his backyard. And I would go there fucking like 5 times a week.
Motherfucker, you're gonna hit every part of the goddamn strike zone.
Yes, 100%. And they'd throw shit, and like, oh, dude, it was fucking hell. Dude, I had this thing in the backyard. It was this new technology. It was called the solo hitter. All right, and it was essentially these pieces of metal. It was a metal square with a net, and then there were 2 triangles that came off of it, and it was this pulley system that had a baseball in the middle of it, and you could adjust it to wherever you wanted in the strike zone, and you stand there and you fucking hit it. It goes on the pulleys, and then it comes back, and then you wait, you reset, and then you fucking hit again. All right, dude, my dad would make me go do 100 fucking reps on the solo hitter, which took like 2 fucking hours because you had to wait for the ball to fucking come back and reset. And like, he'd be like, no, you need to go out there, you need to do fucking 25 reps inside corner, you need to do 25 reps outside corner, you need to do fucking 20 reps low outside corner, 25 reps high inside whatever, and I'd just be like fucking out there just like losing my fucking mind. And then he did have this saying though, it's like if you could hit, they'll find somewhere for you to play. And so my hitting is what got me drafted or picked up by this fucking travel team, was because I could hit. And that got me like recruited. I went and tried out, and they were like, cool. But they were like, hey, we don't got no DH, and you ain't playing catcher. It ain't happening. So we need to put you somewhere. And so I was just like, oh, whatever, I can probably play third base. And so then they sent me to third base, and it sucked because there was this dude that was their third baseman for like 3 years. And I walked in day one and took his fucking job. And he was one of those guys that I rarely saw get to play because he couldn't fucking hit. That was his problem. He just couldn't fucking hit. He was a great third baseman. I mean, he was probably a better third baseman than I would ever be in the terms of like actually playing the position, but he couldn't hit for jack shit. So that's how I stole his job. But I was a little crazier because I was a catcher, so like I was used to getting dirty. So like I would dive for shit and do all this crazy shit that no one else was willing to do. And defensively, I did pretty fucking good, and I had the arm. That was the other thing. He had no fucking arm. So he could pitch a little bit, but he couldn't really throw from third base all the way to first. It was like very slow.
Throw.
It is. It's a long throw. But I was used to throwing from home plate to second base on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
so like
that's true.
I got the arm strength for that. So like anyway, so I took this dude's job, and it was sad. But I'd like to find him and talk to him and just find out like what his perspective of that whole experience was. But again, there were a lot of guys that I played with that later after high school, like, and after, they didn't make it basically, like these guys died of drug overdoses. And there were many more dudes that died of drug overdoses than made it to the professional level in baseball. Hell, even then made it to the fucking minor league level. Most guys didn't even fucking go play college. So
I hate to say it, man, but when your whole life is fucking baseball too, and it's not exclusively baseball, it's just sports in general.
Yeah.
When you become a lifer, dude, that shit's kind of fucking lame.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because you spend your time, a majority of your time, I get it, man. You love the fucking sport. I love baseball. I never played it or anything like that. Oh, actually, technically I did. And when, backyard baseball to that type of shit, or when you play in the streets with all the neighborhood kids and all that stuff. But it ends at some point. But the people that continue to do it, man, it's just let it go, dude. Let it fucking go.
For me, it was junior year of high school. That's when I really, truly realized how much I fucking hate baseball. Like, I actually hate it. I don't enjoy it at all. And I gave it to senior year, and I'm just like, dude, I fucking hate this. And I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to even fuck with trying. Because again, it's not even the level of pressure or any of that stuff. It's just like, why the fuck am I doing this? The likelihood of me fucking succeeding and being a professional baseball player is probably close to zero. I hate these assholes that I'm playing with. I hate the coaches. I fucking hate this. I hate playing baseball. Like, it sucks now. And there was a point back in the day where I loved it, but really, I look back and I really started to think around when I was like 12 is when I really started to not like it. And
that's all your weekends.
Yeah. And then by nature of, it just being my life for fucking pretty much it was my life for 10 years, for a decade. My life was just from basically like 8 to 18. It was baseball, man. That was it. That was all there was. And that shit sucks after a while. And sure, the dudes that can fucking go, hey, that's what you really want to do, man. Cool. Like, good for you. But it just wasn't for me. And it sucks that a lot of guys that didn't make it turn, that pressure fucking that got them. And, I'm sure, and this sucks to say, but I'm sure that there were dudes, a lot of guys that their dad spent a bunch of their fucking money to put them through this in the hopes that it would get them to the professional level. And then when they didn't make it, that their dads kind of held a lot of resentment against them.
Yeah, I'm sure that exists.
And I think that's what drives a lot of these guys to do that, to go to drugs or whatever, to gain some sort of addiction or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and who's that really about? Is it about your son who you were hoping that he achieved that level for you or for him? Because you couldn't hack it. or you couldn't fucking do it, and you thought, well, fuck, if I have a boy, maybe I have a shot at having this kid do something that I could never do.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. That's kind of what I think it is. And it's just like, shit, man. Like, we all were put under that. Living the dreams of our fathers, essentially. Like, that's how we all were fucking thrown into that mix.
And I think to some degree, there's nothing wrong with that, because I think with every generation that comes afterwards, that you hope that the next will be a little bit better in some way. But stepping on the gas and saying, fuck you, you're gonna be Michael Jordan. You better be Michael Jordan. And if you don't become Michael Jordan, we're gonna disown you.
Yeah. For a lot of guys, for a lot of dads that did that, I feel it was good intentions with horrific execution.
Yeah.
I feel like they were coming from a good place, but they just did not fucking execute it well at all, because their fathers beat them mercilessly, probably. So, you know, they didn't know, or drank heavily.
Drilled them to until they developed fucking tendonitis.
Right. Yeah, basically. So I feel like that's kind of where that comes from. And you know, for me, like, talking about on here, it's you know, it's therapeutic, because, like, yeah, that's fucking some traumatic shit you're doing when you're 8 to 18 years old. Like, you're becoming a young man, and, like, you're living this traumatic fucking shit. And also, like, we were kind of treated as, like, you know, these, like, semi-professional athletes, where basically, like, I mean, we kind of got away with shit too. Like, we kind of got to do shit because it's like, oh, well, those guys are they're the baseball guys. They're gonna be somebody someday. So, like, oh, they could get away with shit. Like, you know, we could let them go do, you know, other things or whatever. We can let them get away with shit that other kids probably couldn't get away with.
C-.
Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, that's how I passed high school. Like, I got more C's just because I was on a sports team. And what was lucky for me is I would get in, like, teachers that were also sports coaches. So, like, I'll never forget him. And the dude's probably dead by now, because I think he was fucking 30 years ago, but his name was Mr. Komrosky. And he was he was my chemistry teacher when I was, I think, a sophomore. And I had a D. And I'm like, listen, man, like, if I don't get a C in this fucking class, I'm not gonna make grades. And, like, you know, I'm a key member of this fucking team. And he was just like, and I was like, listen, man, if one of your tennis guys, because he was a tennis coach, and I was like, listen, one of your tennis guys was, like, you know, floating, what would you do? And he was like, oh, fuck, I'd give him a C. And I was like,
that's what I'm talking about.
I was like, exactly. And I was like, see how easy it is? And he was like, God damn it, Josh, you drive a very good fucking point here. And he's like, you know what? See, it is. And he changed my grade to a C. And I did nothing.
You see, all right, let's just test you right here. You're like, bases and asses, which part of the scale are they on?
I didn't know any of that shit. I didn't know any. I still don't know any of that shit.
He's like, I don't know.
But he literally said to me, he's like, you know what, Josh? He's like, you show up to the class every day, and he's like, you might be retarded. He told me you might be retarded when it comes to science. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. And he's like, but you show up to class every day. And he's like, you know what? All these other assholes talk and they fucking piss me off. And he's like, you don't ever fucking piss me off. So he's like, you know what? He's like, I like what you're saying, and you haven't pissed me off. So I was like, I'll give you that C. And he said,
but it's also not a leap. It's not like you were asking for an A or a B. Yeah.
Just make it so I don't get kicked off the team. That's all I'm asking for. And then he literally told me, you know what, man? Because this was, mind you, this is also first semester. Okay, this is at the beginning of the year.
You're already fucking
up. Okay, and he told me, he's like, you show up every fucking day, and he's like, you come in and you fucking just sit there and say nothing. He's like, you don't have to do anything else. You will have a C in this class. And I was like, thank fucking God, because I was gonna fail the fuck out of this class. So yeah, I came. So guess what I did? Every fucking day, I showed up to that fucking class, and you know what I did? I sat in the back, and I pretended like no one fucking existed. And I was like, you ain't talking to me, bitch. I'm fucking. Go away, whore, harlot. Get out of my face. I do not want to see your thong. All right, go away. I'm trying to pass this class by not speaking. So therefore, and also not learning. So, like, go fuck yourself. So, yeah, I passed. I got C's in multiple classes because of that. So, you know, It is what it. I also fucking jump. I gamed so you could be on the team so you could have. I think you could have one F or was it no Fs? I don't remember. Or it was like you could have Ds and shit. So like I remember in the ROTC class they were fucking being assholes and they gave me a B one fucking year or one semester and I had a D in another class and it dropped my GPA to 2.9 or 1.9 whatever because you need 2.0 right? Yeah.
I think you need 2.5.
Yeah, so whatever it was, I was 1 point below. And if they would have put it to a fucking A, it would have got me above to stay. And so I went in the thing, I was like, motherfucker, I do all this shit for you guys, and you're gonna do me like this? And they were just like, yeah, all right. And they just fucking changed it. They just changed it to an A, and I was like, thanks. And then that was it. And then fucking, then 2 years later, I mutinied against them and had a whole fucking thing, which is a whole other story for another day. But yeah, so being on the baseball team lets you fucking get away with shit. Football, same deal. And football, man, I remember when I was on that home and hospital thing, fucking Coach Brandon, the football coach, was the home and hospital teacher. He literally showed up and he was like, he came once a week and he's like, he came on a Monday and he's like, here's your packet. Don't call me. And then he left. And then he came back and it was literally like 1 + 1, 2 + 2. It was basic shit. English, it was like the cat is orange. Like, and complete the sentence or spell the words right.
He was my fucking, he was my sex ed teacher.
Oh, Coach Brad, I bet that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot, but I just remember
talking about vaginas, goddammit. Quit laughing, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember he was my fucking teacher.
That's hilarious. And so, anyways, you got away with a lot. You got away with a lot of shit. And then you come back the next week and just be like, did you do it? He'd look to see if I did the first page and he'd be like, hey, and then that would be it. So then I started only doing the first page. Once I knew I could run that scam, never caught on. Just was like, cool, first page done, A. Rest of it was blank.
And 20 years later, you're on fentanyl.
No, I'm one of the ones that wasn't on fentanyl.
Well, I mean, not you in particular, but just the other guys that...
Yeah, the other guys on the teams that were doing it. Well, no, what's funny is most of those assholes, they were getting A's and B's, and they got fucking. Now they're on fentanyl. Like now they're doing crack in the street. That guy, I remember that dude was always getting like awards for fucking being smart. Like I remember that dude that I saw outside of the thing that asked me for fucking change was one of those like clean cut Jesus kids that got like fucking straight A's. And now here you are sucking dick for crack on the streets 30 years later. Why? Probably because of the pressure from baseball. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I could be wrong.
This is also a small sample. This doesn't speak on the behalf of all
no, it doesn't.
Baseball teams or anything.
I'm talking about from the Inland Empire. Those Orange County kids, I don't know any of their shit, all right? I'm just talking about the IE kids. Right?
I don't know, man. The way their fingernails were cut, the pinky one looked particularly long.
Oh, I'm sure they were doing the coke for sure because they had the money. They had the money to do it. They had the money to do the top end drugs that you could get off of easy.
Not the poverty shit.
No, the poverty fentanyl lace shit. That was what we were getting in the end. We were getting the meth with fucking like
bath salts.
Yeah, yeah. We were doing that crocodile shit that was eating people, turning people into zombies. That's the shit our guys were doing out here. But yeah, so it is what it is, and our parents tried, I guess, but they just horribly executed it. And a lot of guys suffered for that.
What do you think the balance is for being a parent when it comes to if your kid decides they want to be competitive about a sport, but also keeping yourself in check and making sure that this is something that they want to do and not just, oh, I'm going to live through my fucking kid.
Yeah, you can't do that. You just need to be support. That's all you need to be. You don't need to be like the coach in there fucking doing shit. Just support and help. And like with Chloe, I'm not pushing her to play softball or do anything like that. Yeah, I could take and coach a softball team. I know baseball. I know that shit. I could easily do that. And I'm not going to unless she wants to do it.
Right.
Because what's the point? I don't need her to do. I need her to do what she wants to do. And there's Katie and I both agreed when we had her that we were going to say, you need to do at least one sport and you need to do one art. So for Katie does the choir. So like that's your art. You can do the choir with mom, and then you can do whatever sport you want. Chloe's been into dance and like gymnastics, and now she's doing like this cheer thing. So like, cool. That's your sport. She enjoys it. She didn't, I mean, it's funny because she didn't like doing one of the dance classes. And I'm like, cool, you don't like it? And she was crying and all sad. I don't want to go. Cool, you don't got to go. No one's forcing you to go. If you don't want to do it, that's cool. Pick another one. And she picked another one and then ended up loving it. So it's like, okay, cool. And then if you don't want to do dance or cheer anymore, okay, cool. Let's go try something else. Do you want to do soccer? You want to do fucking whatever?
Why was she afraid?
She was afraid. She wasn't afraid. She was like sad that she didn't want to go because she didn't like it. And she was like, I think because at those places, I think that they're also exuberant about like doing the dance and they love it. That she just, because this was also, she's whatever, 6. So like, and this was back when she was 5, so she was even younger. And I don't think she could process the emotions of like saying, I don't want to do something, like telling people no, especially that were so like forceful, because they were pretty like, oh yeah, we love this and this is great. It's like, I just don't think she knew how to convey that to them, and not, because she would feel bad. She would feel bad about making them sad that she didn't want to do the thing that they liked so much, I think is what it was. That's why she was like, oh, yeah, I want to go. And she was crying and then all this stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. You don't got to be afraid. I'll tell the motherfuckers you don't want to go. You don't got to tell them shit. I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of that part. That's easy. I love that. I love telling people shit. So you don't got to worry about that.
Suck my ass, suck my balls.
Yep. She ain't coming. Out. Go fuck yourself. We're out of here. So yeah. So now that's it. It's like, cool. You got to do at least one sport and you got to do one art. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's not that difficult. So, and I'm not fucking in here yelling at you and doing the dance moves 18 fucking thousand ways or 25 times. No, we ain't doing that. You do it how you want to do it. And if you want support and you want some advice, yeah, sure, I'll tell you what I think. I'll show you how to do it or whatever. And then that's how it is. So, I think that's the best way to do it and approach it, is not to be like super hard on it. It's just to give them what they need. Not tell them what they need. That's where I think our parents made the mistake of telling us what we needed to do.
Hey, little Johnny, I think you need to start juicing.
Yeah, I think you need to start fucking. I think you need to get on the sauce. All right, like, you need to step on the gas here, buddy. All right, you're looking a little weak. You're looking a little tiny. You got that warning track power. I got the thing that can get you over that fence.
I can take you over the top.
Yep, I can get you the thing that'll hit you more dingers than anybody you've ever seen in your life, buddy. And then that's how kids get on steroids. But anyways. So yeah, so that's where I think it's at, and what else? There's something else I was gonna say too, but I don't know. I fucking forgot. It's escaped my mind. But that's how it was, and that's my perspective. And these are the things that happened from the way I saw it. And if anybody disagrees with me, well, you had a different perspective, so go fuck yourself. I mean, that's pretty much how it is.
Imagine there's thousands of comments, man. My childhood was exactly like this, and I hate my father now. Yeah. And I also did crack.
Yeah, that'd be great if I could get a bunch of comments about that, because that would actually validate what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not wrong. I tell you that right now. I'm definitely not wrong. There are more guys that died than fucking have made it to the pros. That's just the fact. All right, this is a fucking fact. And say what you want, but it's true.
This was a fucking lengthy ass episode of.
We've been doing lengthy episodes tonight.
Chirping from the pine.
All the episodes tonight have been over 40 minutes.
You must have thought it was White Boy Day.
Just like Tom Brady, I must have thought it was White Boy Day. Anyways, all right. Well, that's the end of it. Go to Game Rage Magazine on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Follow Game Rage Mag on Twitter. All Gas No Trash Official on YouTube, Instagram. And substack.com/@allgasnotrashofficial. And you can hear all that good stuff. So go check those things out.
You gotta give us a shot!
And just give us a shot,
And
nice.
if you're going to juice, make sure you find a good vein and, yeah. Line it up.
Oh, you didn't know?
Now you know.
I just want to know, if you guys ever end up becoming pro baseball players as a result of our advice, our wisdom, cut us a check. Don't forget about those guys that really hooked you up.
Money. Yeah. I got money.
Yeah, give us a little money, all right? We sure could fucking use it. Especially in this shitty economy right now. Anyways, all right. Well, that'll be the end of it for us. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
That was Chirpin' from the Pine, the Game Rage Sports Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. Follow us on X at Game Rage Mag. You can go to our website, www.gameragemagazine.com.